Hey guys, what is up? It is Casadorperfect here, and I'm bringing you a Pokemon Wi-Fi battle video here. It's in the 5th generation, of course, as we all know that. It is a UU tier against, what was his name again? I believe RaptorMania. Yes, that was his name, and if I can find his YouTube channel, I will put it down in the description. So let's go ahead and get started with the narration. I'm gonna lead it with a Victini, he's gonna lead it with an Alakazam, he's gonna go for the substitute, as I choose to go for the U-turn because I wanna get the hell out of here. And since U-turn is actually super effective against Alakazam, why not? He could have gone for the Shadow Ball and dealt some massive damage, but I'm not really even sure if he has Shadow Ball, his moveset. So nonetheless, I'm gonna send out Heracross, and it's obvious that he's gonna switch out into something that can resist the upcoming Mega Horn. But I truly wanted to see that, you know, I wanted to test his intelligence, because sometimes you play very stupid people and they don't even know what they're doing. So that's why I basically used the most predictable move right there. So he's gonna make a switch into Typhlosion and take the Mega Horn. It didn't took it that well, which is pretty good for me. So I'm gonna make a switch into Eterna here, predicting the fire move, and he goes for an Earthquake, predicting that as well. But none of Typhlosion's attack will do that much damage against my Melodic, so I'm pretty good to go. I'm gonna go for the Toxic, and he's going to make a switch into the Machamp. Machamp gets poisoned, which is pretty good. I'm gonna go for the Scald just to deal some damage and see what kind of Machamp this is, because it could be a Puncher Machamp with like Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, and Fire Punch and Dynamic Punch. But I really wanted to see that, so it looks like it's a Punching Machamp, which does indeed have all the elemental punches. And I'm gonna go for the Recover here. It looks like Thunder Punch is not gonna be able to take me out as long as I have Recover around, so I might as well just stay in here and deal some more damage and make sure that the poison does even more damage. I'm pretty much gonna stall a few turns here, but he's gonna make a use of the Dynamic Punch to get a Confusion on me, and on top of the Confusion I could hit myself at some point, and because of the residual damage that the burn is gonna be doing because of my Flame Orb, I might as well just go ahead and switch out, otherwise I'm gonna lose my Melodic. And so I make a switch into the Victini right here. Victini is looking pretty good because it's at full health, and I am indeed going to go for the Create here because I truly have nothing else to do. Not just kidding. I predict the switch, of course, because I know he's gonna predict the Create, and I knew he had a Kindra on his team, of course, because I saw a Kindra in the pre-game window, so where all the teams are shown. So that's why I go for the U-turn, predicting the switch into Kindra, so I still have the switch advantage. So I'm gonna send out my Heracross, and one close combat will definitely conclude the victory. It's gonna definitely seal the victory of this game, because Heracross is definitely the star of this game. It pretty much does destroy this guy's team, which is absolutely gorgeous to see a Moxie Heracross doing some work on someone else's team. Heracross has always been such a powerful powerhouse when it's used like with Adamant Nature, Max Attack, and a Choice Scarf. In this case, it does indeed work out for me, which I'm gonna showcase to you guys in a few minutes. So he's gonna go for the Earthquake. I actually thought that he would set up Stealth Rock, so I might get a chance to recover my HP with the Melodic, but unfortunately, he goes for the for the Earthquake and takes out my Melodic, and with the burn damage as well. And I'm gonna send out my Azelf here. And also the reason for why I switched out my Heracross is because I wasn't sure if close combat would kill it in one shot, and I didn't really want it to force everything right off the bat. I wanted to take it slow, so that's why. So I put my SD Rocks on his field, and he makes a switch into the Umbreon. I actually thought I would go for the Payback or something like that, because that's super effective against himself. But instead he goes for the Toxic, probably predicting my switch or something like that. I'm not really sure why he went for that, but Heracross is probably the best candidate for the poison, so I am gonna stay in with Heracross, and I am going to go for the close combat since it's super effective against Umbreon. And even though he makes a switch right here, it doesn't really matter because I will have 2 turns to attack consecutively with close combat. And knowing close combat is an attack that has 120 base power, it is tapped, and also with a Heracross that has max attack, I believe it's 394 or something like that, or 372. I'm not really sure, guys, don't quote me on that. But I'm gonna get a Moxie boost here because, you know, I do end up making one of his Pokemon faint, and I'm still on the field. So Moxie always works that way. If you make one of your opponent's Pokemon faint, you will get a attack boost. +1, which will be pretty much very useful for me because I do have the Choice Scarf, so I don't really have any other choice than just going for the close combat all over the place. So he sends out his Alakazam, and Alakazam goes down obviously to a +1 close combat stabbed, and also 120 base plus the massive attack stats that Heracross has. And he's gonna send out his Typhlosion right now, which is one of his leftovers Pokemons here. I'm gonna go for the close combat. That's definitely gonna take him out because he's got less than half, and even if he was at full HP, the only thing that could save him at this point was a Focus Sash, and since he doesn't have that, he's gonna go down. I get another Moxie attack boost, and it's not looking pretty good for my Heracross because on the next turn I am gonna faint indeed because of the poison that is increasingly doing more damage every turn. So I'm gonna go for another close combat, and as you can see, Heracross has pretty much dominated the field with Choice Scarf and Moxie ability. It is pretty much a beast. So I take out the Machamp, and he's only got one Pokemon left, I believe so. And but unfortunately the poison takes out my Heracross, but nonetheless Heracross took out 4 of his Pokemons, which makes Heracross definitely the star of this game. So I'm gonna send out my Victini knowing that his last Pokemon is gonna be an Umbreon. I'm gonna go for the Ficreate, and remember guys that I'm not really sure if a normal Ficreate would kill a Umbreon from that range, but my Victini does has indeed a choice band, so and it's pretty powerful, and I think Ficreate is probably 180 base powered, and it's tapped, and it's just a powerhouse move, and it definitely concludes the match right there, guys. I think the end score was 4-0. That was a pretty good game, guys. So if you could answer the last question that I have for you guys right here, it is, which is your favorite Pokemon of all time? Leave it in the comments, guys. I'm curious.